Knowledge is power, and learning is the ultimate adventure. Explore, question, and grow with tools designed to make education exciting, engaging, and endlessly rewarding.
This series, In Search of Excellence in Leadership, is based on real views from people across South Africa. We visited all 9 provinces. We listened. We asked. We recorded. We didn't rely on textbooks or political commentators. Instead, we spoke directly to students, workers, small business owners, and everyday citizens who live the struggle and think deeply about our country's future. Their voices guide this journey. What you'll see and hear comes from them, the ones working, learning, and surviving in the middle of South Africa's leadership vacuum. We begin by asking a simple but urgent question. Where are we now? This is the first step, understanding the present so we can shape a better future.
We don't have leaders in South Africa, not in the exact sense of the word. We have position holders, we have title wearers, we have managers of decay and performers of empty rituals. But leaders? No. A leader is a guide, a protector, a builder. A leader sees further, stands firmer, serves deeper. A leader suffers with the people, walks among them, and lifts them inch by inch toward a better life. What we have instead are politicians who speak in slogans, not in solutions. Officials who hide behind protocol, not principle. Ministers who consume while the masses bleed. Mayors who cut ribbons, but not corruption. We don't have leaders. We have gatekeepers of decline, masqueraders of power, deal makers in disguise. The schools are broken, the taps are dry, the lights are off, but the suits are tailored, the cars are German, and the speeches are sweet. This is not leadership. It is abandonment with a smile, cowardice in a convoy, failure in formal attire. South Africa is not short of ideas, not short of resources, not short of potential. It is short of men and women who will choose principle over profit, people over party, truth over tribe. Until then, we will remain a nation with leaders in name, but not in nature. Leadership is not a title. It is a burden, a sacrifice, and a sacred trust. At its core, leadership is the act of carrying people somewhere they could not go alone. What is leadership? Leadership is responsibility in motion, the art of vision, plus service, the ability to inspire direction, shape destiny, and withstand pressure. A real leader sees the road before others, walks it with others, and clears it for others. Leadership is not about being first in comfort. It's about being first in suffering, first in truth, and last to eat. What do leaders actually do? They see ahead. Leaders scan the horizon. They predict storms, sense opportunity, and prepare the people for what's coming. They don't just react, they anticipate. They set the standard. Leaders are the living example. Integrity is not something they preach. It's how they breathe. When they walk into the room, values walk in with them. They solve problems. Leaders don't blame. They take ownership. They ask, what must be done? Not, who can I blame? Leadership thrives in crisis, not comfort. They uplift others. Leaders build people, not empires. They create more leaders, not more followers. They protect the weak and empower the willing. They absorb pressure. When bullets fly, leaders stand in front. When rewards come, they step aside. Their shoulders carry the invisible weight of others' hopes. They listen deeply. Leadership is not barking orders. It's understanding needs. A real leader can hear what's not being said, feel the pain behind silence. They sacrifice. No true leader escapes without scars. They give their sleep, reputation, and sometimes their life for the people they serve. What leadership is not. It's not popularity. It's not manipulation. It's not posing for photos with the poor, then drinking champagne with the rich. Final thought. Leadership is not for the greedy. It's for the guardians. The one who leads must always ask, am I using power to serve or to shield myself? A real leader doesn't leave a monument behind. They leave stronger people behind. They are remembered not for their car, but for their character.
Culture, mindset, and moral decay in leadership, these are the true roots of national collapse. Not budgets, not elections, not slogans. 1. Culture, the soil everything grows. From if a nation's culture glorifies luxury over labor, status over substance, consumption over creation, then even the most advanced economy will rot from the inside. Culture is what people celebrate. If we celebrate fraud, shortcuts, and fame, we plant weeds and wonder why there's no harvest. Leaders come from culture. A corrupt culture selects corrupt leaders. No policy can fix what the soul of a nation refuses to confront. A leader with an entitlement mindset steals. A leader with a blame mindset never reforms. Poverty is not just a lack of resources, it's often a poverty of imagination. Leadership rooted in fear, inferiority, victimhood, or historical resentment will never build. It only destroys and justifies failure. Mindset decides whether we see problems as opportunities to rise or excuses to fall. 3. Moral decay. The collapse. Before the collapse. Before roads collapse, values do. Before power stations fall, principles do. Before the people riot, their trust dies. When leaders lie casually, loot publicly, or laugh at accountability, a silent spiritual corrosion begins. Loyalty is bought, truth is feared, excellence is mocked, competence is sidelined. What remains is a hollow shell of leadership, titles with no service, offices with no honor. The result? Rich nations become poor, young talent flees, law becomes theater, the nation becomes a marketplace for self-enrichment. And worst of all, people lose hope. Conclusion: you can rebuild a bridge, you can fix an economy, but once the moral compass is shattered, and once leadership becomes theater instead of stewardship, the soul of the nation bleeds. What we need are not just policies. We need rebuilders of the spirit, men and women who walk into power with clean hands, clear minds, and unshakable conscience. Until then, all else is noise.
The politics of poverty. How free rides, free music, and fear replace real leadership in South Africa. In the townships of South Africa, a lethal political strategy has taken root, one that does not uplift the people but traps them deeper in dependency, confusion, and fear. This strategy, pioneered by the ruling ANC and now eagerly mimicked by the EFF, is not leadership. It is psychological control disguised as liberation. 1. The free ride trap. Every election season, buses roll in. Poor communities, forgotten for years, are suddenly remembered. Villagers are fetched by the dozens, not to clinics, not to jobs, not to schools, but to rallies. The poor are herded like cargo, not citizens. No ID? No problem. Just wave the flag. The only qualification needed is desperation and a willingness to clap, dance, and chant. These buses are not transport. They are instruments of manipulation, tools of political hypnosis. For many who have nothing, a ride to the stadium is the only escape from the dullness of poverty, and the politicians know it. 2. The stadium spectacle. Loud lies, dead promises. Inside the stadiums, the music is loud, the faces are painted, the t-shirts are flying. It's a celebration, not of progress, but of performance. Leaders take the stage like celebrities, dancing while the country burns. Electricity is gone. Jobs are gone. Dignity is gone. But for that one day, people are made to feel included, not by solutions, but by sound systems and slogans. They are not fed truth. They are fed delusions of grandeur. 3. Ancestral fear, the new political witchcraft. But the darkest tactic of all is fear. Wrapped in tradition, politicians now whisper, if you vote for whites or for opposition, your ancestors will punish you. This is spiritual blackmail, weaponizing cultural identity to control the poor and silence dissent. It plays on the most sacred beliefs of African people, turning ancestors into voting enforcers. Instead of awakening civic responsibility, these parties cast spiritual threats. Vote for us or be cursed. Reject us, and your dead will choke your sleep. This is no longer democracy. It is ritualized manipulation. 4. A strategy. Built on poverty, maintained by misery. This strategy only works if people stay. Poor enough to take a free bus, hopeless enough to believe empty promises, afraid enough to think the ancestors are ballot watchers. Real leaders build roads, not rallies. Real leaders feed minds, not stadiums. Real leaders respect the ancestors. They don't use them as weapons. 5. The time to wake up is now. South Africans must now ask, how many times will we trade a t-shirt for 5 more years of hunger? How many times will we dance while our children starve? How many times will we confuse entertainment for empowerment? The poor are not fools. The young are not blind. The ancestors are not politicians. It is time to rise above the noise. Time to vote, not for music, but for meaning. Time to demand leaders, not magicians, because every free ride has a price, and every lie believed becomes a link in the chain of national decay.
The grand illusion, lofty ambitions versus ground reality. In South Africa, we often see shining visions on paper, but decay and disorder in real life. On one hand, Vision 2030, smart cities, a better life for all. Fourth Industrial Revolution, green economy, universal health, digital education. On the other hand, broken hospitals, load shedding, children learning under trees, roads that kill, civil servants looting school food, sewer rivers and unpaid nurses. This gulf is not just economic, it's psychological, moral, and institutional. 1. The psychology of escapism. Ruling by fantasy lofty ambitions are often not rooted in capability, but in desire to escape hard truth. When leadership cannot or will not face reality, they construct visions as a coping mechanism to comfort themselves and pacify the public. These visions become mirrors of what they wish they were, not tools to change what is. This leads to endless plans, zero delivery, high-level conferences but no toilets at schools, fancy slogans, empty shelves. It's a form of delusional governance, leadership performing for the world stage while the people beg for bread. 2. The culture of talk, not build-in. Places where talk is valued over action, big visions become a currency. You don't have to do the hard work of delivering, you just have to talk bigger than the next guy. We hold summits, launches, roundtables, but no follow-through, no grounded pilot projects, no punishment for failure. Ambitions become rituals, not roadmaps. 3. Lack of systems and execution. Muscle of vision is only as strong as the system that delivers it. You cannot promise digital classrooms where schools have no electricity. Plan smart cities when your local municipalities can't fix potholes. Preach AI readiness when kids can't read at grade level. These are not just contradictions. They are signs of systemic fantasy building, not state building. 4. Moral cowardice and pretend leadership. True leadership says, we are weak here. Let's start small, build honestly, and expand slowly. Pretend leadership says, announce a revolution, borrow slogans, copy Silicon Valley, hope nobody notices the rot. Why? Because it's easier to impress than to serve. And when the public expects delivery, the leadership blames apartheid, global markets, colonizers, or even the weather. Anything but their own failure to bridge vision and reality. 5. External validation over internal function. Lofty ambitions also serve global PR, to attract foreign donors, to secure loans, to impress global institutions. But the local reality doesn't matter, because the goal isn't to fix the country, the goal is to sell a picture. The core issue. We suffer from vision without roots, ambition without preparation, planning without discipline, and leadership without accountability. And what results is regression while claiming progress, poverty beneath prosperity plans, social unrest under peaceful declarations. Final thought. A real vision is not loud, it's quiet, focused, humble, and concrete. The path to dignity is not through bold promises, but through simple victories. One clean clinic, one functioning school, one honest official, one working bridge. Lofty dreams mean nothing when the people can't walk safely to fetch water. Until we align words with work and vision with village, the paper dreams will burn, and the people will rise not in applause but in rage.
That image, a politician rolling through dusty township roads in a Lamborghini, past jobless youth, shacks and broken dreams, is not just a scene, it's a symbol of betrayal, a blasphemy of leadership. Let's unpack it deeply. 1. The politics of performance and power. The Lamborghini is not transport. It's a prop, a rolling monument of power without conscience, luxury without sacrifice, victory without struggle. To the politician it screams, "Look at me, I have arrived, I am untouchable." But to the people watching it says, "You are nothing, I've taken your vote, now watch me shine." This is not leadership, it's a theatre of cruelty. 2. Desensitized souls. Power corrupts. Perception. How can someone drive a R4 million car past a child digging in a dustbin? Because they no longer see. Politics has numbed them. Entitlement has hardened them. Corruption has blinded them. To them, the township is not a cry for help. It's a background for flaunting success. They don't feel the pain because they've climbed so high on tender ladders and party protection that the ground below is blurred. 3. The broken social contract leadership once meant walking with the people, sharing their burden, driving slow through broken roads to fix them. But now it means flash, not function, status, not service, loot, then pose, and the people, the unemployed, the youth, the elders, are left with empty slogans, forgotten promises, rallies with free t-shirts, then silence. The Lamborghini becomes a rolling insult. 4. Youth. Watching. This absorb a message. The young person sees this and thinks, so politics is the hustle. Lies bring riches. Corruption wins. Instead of becoming builders, they dream of becoming politicians, hustlers, crooks with charm. This is the death of nationhood, when the highest offices model the lowest values. 5. This is not just a car. It's a crime scene. That vehicle was not bought with innovation or honest labour. It was funded by stolen public contracts, ghost projects, COVID funds, budgets meant for housing, schooling, water. It rolls through the township like a getaway car from a robbery. Final truth. The politician in the Lamborghini is not just a failure. He is a curse walking. He represents the moral inversion of power, where the oppressor wears designer suits and the liberated remain barefoot. The tragedy is not just in the dust, but in the silence. The silence of citizens too tired, too beaten, or too misled to resist.